Well, hello again, everyone. This is Bob Mannery, and you're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, only on A2D Radio. Tom and Mike, these guys are fucking awesome. But their side piece, Greg, that guy is a goddamn problem.
Let's go. Tom.
Mike.
AM.
In the PM.
A2D Radio. We're live from the Real Talk Studios. Every Wednesday night, though, we're brought to you by our certified public accountant. Make them yours. Find them on the web, GibsonMayer.com. Tom Arnone, Michael Mataraki, Dan McGuckin, Robbie Pove on the ones and twos, Greg Mwakovic, still traveling. Phil's 6-6 game and a must-win tonight, especially with the Braves down 6-3. We'll talk about Phil's later on in the show. Some coolest uniforms in sports. We'll dive into that a little bit. We'll have a little man on the phone lines coming up in the second segment. We'll have Ron Clements from Home Run on Wheels. He's traveled all 30 MLB ballparks. He might have one or two left still. I believe he's in Houston right now.
That is correct,
Okay,
sir.
he's in Houston right now. I met him in San Diego, which is really cool, at an RV park when I was out there watching the Phils. His RV's all decked out, side to side, the whole nine on his calls and what they're doing, and it's a great cause. We'll have Ron on later on in the show. NFL season predictions. Tis the season, baby. Tis the season.
Well, and next week, we come on the night before the Birds opener, so next week we're going to be all dialed in on the Birds opener, so we're going to give you our predictions tonight.
Absolutely. We're going to have a little back-to-back talk next week, too, because that's going to be exciting. We're going to be all in arms, just swaying.
Kumbaya.
Back-to-back.
We have like blankets and Eagles blankets and banners.
Yeah, we'll make it cold in here too. I feel like it's like a December game. So we'll give our NFC, AFC wildcard team, Super Bowl participants, the winner of the Super Bowl, the whole nine. They're way too early shit, but that's what we're here for.
That's what we always do.
But listen, it's going to be heavy Eagles like it is this time of year, and we have to talk about 11 and the man behind center, and that ties right into our poll question, brought to you by Scanzano Sports. Find them on the web, scanzanosports.com. How likely is it that Carson Wentz is the Eagles starting quarterback in week 1? 100%, 75%, 50%, 25%. If you got a zero, babe, feel free to toss it out because we're going to toss it right back to you. Let us know Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. A2D Radio is where you can find us. Comments, questions, preseason concerns, whatever the hell you want to get off your chest, whatever you want to talk about, for the fan, by the fan, let's go.
195%. I don't
195.
I don't even think it's a question. In fact, I think that they have held him out of all the contact drills and everything like that as long as they possibly can, just to guarantee that he was ready for week 1. Now, I got to admit, I think the game that Doug E.P. is playing is kind of cool, where he's saying that he'll know in advance who the starting quarterback is going to be, and that's who's going to get the starters work all week. but he's not going to declare it until he has to submit his lineup 90 minutes before game time. I love the chess match, but I think anybody that's got a human brain knows it's Carson Wentz.
Okay, I want to piggyback off of that before Danny goes with his, right? I don't want to give a percentage yet, but I want to explain something to the people that they already know. But Carson, okay.
Did you just quote Rocky? I'm gonna tell you something you already know.
I didn't know I did. This the season. Listen, 99% of the time with that injury, it's a non-contact injury.
Right.
His was a contact injury, I get it. But most of the time it's non-contact. So is the muscle in there strong enough to go? Well, the way he's moving around now, that's non-contact. It looks to be strong. Am I a believer in, hey, if he's not fully ready, leave him out to October? We talked about that after we won the Super Bowl. I was okay with that. The guy's moving around. If he's cleared by every medical doctor in the world, which they're going to do to make sure he's right, and he's going to do, and his people are going to do, let's be real, and he's ready to go, he's ready to go. And if it's when most of them come from non-contact, the only thing you're worried about is it being your land leg. It's just guys rolling around on you. Well, you know what I mean? That's all you're worried about.
And, with an audience of one, he's got a direct line to the man upstairs. So if the big man upstairs wills him to play, my man's going to play.
What did he say when he got hurt? He said, I believe, God's got a bigger plan.
plan.
He did have a plan. He did have a plan. Broad and pat. Let's freaking go. That's what his plan was. Knew it all along. Okay. Danny, percentage. What's the percentage of Carson
100%. I think early in camp when he was doing 11 on 11s, I think Doug saw enough. He's like, okay, all right. This is only 7 months after. Like, he's ready. Just now, let's not force anything. Let him just rest up. I've seen enough. And now you see
they're starting to ramp him back up again.
So I think he's going to be ready. And I remember a few years ago with Bradford, they were saying, well, if his knee's 90%, the only way to get it to 100% is by playing to make sure it's strong enough. So I think it's the same thing with Wentz. If it's 90%, he should play because that's the only way he's going to get it to 100.
Boss?
Listen, I don't ever want to compare him to.
No, I'm not comparing him. I'm just saying that the doctors were saying. That's the only way to get it back to 100. You gotta test it out.
I don't know anymore with this one. I'm leaning towards 75.
Okay.
I'm about 75% confident that he's going to play week 1, and that's because of everything we've already discussed. And a double play, no, Caesar beat it out.
Yeah.
Caesar beat it out. He's struggling. He needs a day off, even though the whole team has one tomorrow. But I have no problem with if he's cleared. I want him to be my starter, right? I love Nick. I'm not disrespecting Nick, but 11's going to carry this whole process, okay? He's the game changer. He's the franchise changer. He's a franchise QB. He's in the conversations, when you talk about your Bradys and your Rodgers and your Brees, that when that guy's on the field, you're going to be in every football game, and you're going to be a problem. And to me, he's going to be better than all of them once he's fully right. Now, I think us as a fan base need to realize the type of injury and how major it is that he's coming off of, that if he's not as crisp as we would like him to be week 1 or 2, that timing will come.
Yeah.
All right, and I think that we need to just relax. And I know it's tough, and we all said it was going to be easy. We all sat here after we won the Super Bowl and said, you know what, next year, if he's not ready, he's not ready. It's almost a throwaway year in a way. We won the Super Bowl.
It's a mulligan,
but as
blah, blah,
things
blah.
move forward here, because of the sports fans we are, and the dogs we are, and the competitors that we are.
Greedy sons of bitches who we
right?
are.
Well, we said, screw it. Let's go win another one. And,
a lot of that's a throwaway year. I don't care what they do this. I know I was never like that. Like, if they win 9-7, I'd be pissed the fuck off. Like, I don't. If they make the playoffs and lose, whatever. All right, whatever. They won the Super Bowl last year. But if they win like fucking 8-8 or 9-7, I would be pissed. That's not okay. Like, that's really not okay.
Not with everybody healthy, Dan. That's definitely not okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why.
Danny's got 2 in the curse jar right out of the gate.
Curse away, Dan.
No, because people were saying that also. Like, I don't care what they do this year. They're going to be like, no.
I want more.
Like, why would we settle for that?
I'm with
exactly.
Like when you
have talk about this, the new norm. Well, the new norm is fucking being on Broad Street.
Absolutely. And when we listen,
throwaway year, my fucking ass.
Fired up.
Retarded.
As Carson was playing last year, and we saw the progression, I think every one of us and everyone with a clue about the game of football said, wow. We're going to be Super Bowl contenders for the next 10 years.
Right.
For the next 10 years, we're going to be in the conversation every year. Why? Because it's as simple as 11, which starts it. Now, do you need pieces? Yeah. Okay? I mean, the Rodgers effect only goes so far. Green Bay doesn't put enough pieces around him, essentially. But that kind of guy, every year, they're still in the conversation, right?
Yeah,
they're
you
always
don't want
in
to
the
play him in
conversation.
January.
No, you don't. So Do I have a problem if Nick started? No, because the only way Nick's starting is if Carson's not ready to go, and I'm not a believer in rushing the guy back. Mm-hmm. But I think the kid's a flat out worker. Okay, he gets it. He's a good kid. I just think everything. I think he's ready to go. I really do. But I'm only 75% because there's still part of me that believes that there might be a little trick here. Where it's not him and it's Nick for week 1, which then gives Carson another full 10 days to even rest a little bit more. But let's get to all the tons of family chiming in.
After you get to the fam, I got another question I want to ask you guys. Don't let me forget.
Hold on, can I say something real quick?
Sure.
You're talking about the audience of one thing. I don't know, but you know how Jordan Hicks tore his Achilles? That's usually the worst injury you can get. And he tore his in late October, and he's already back playing preseason. I don't know. Jordan Hicks is another one that's real close. I don't know what the hell is going on, but these dudes are healing fast as shit.
You went to Catholic school. You need to figure out the whole spirituality thing.
That's what I'm saying. It's just dude, I don't know. I really don't know.
What's the
but
fam
I just think it's wild.
Michael James says money, which I guess he means he's talking about me. What up, Mike? What up, Mike? James Wilder said no audio, but he can hear the Copper Rant on Instagram. There's audio, babe. I just heard it. Kyle Meager, 50-50, which is something we expected from Kyle. He said, I want Foles to start, but my gut instinct tells me Carson will, which is why I'm saying 50-50.
Why do you want Foles to start?
Because he's a big Foles guy. He loves Foles. He loves what he did, and I get it.
All right, so
but he loves him more than Carson, which is really kind of odd to me.
That actually leads into the question I was going to ask you guys. I'll just ask you guys now. What do you guys think about this whole narrative that people have that even if Carson is 100% healthy, Foles, quote-unquote, deserves to start the opener?
No, this isn't Little League. This isn't participation trophies.
Exactly.
Okay? I understand we're in 2018, family. I get it. Okay? Knock out the fucking participation trophies and ribbon shit. Okay? This is big boy football. This is the highest level. Nobody deserves shit. And don't tell me. I love him, dude. He brought us the Super Bowl that we never had. But don't forget it was the MVP of the goddamn league who got us there. Okay, he would deserve to start. This ain't Wally Pitt, babe. Okay, this is one of the best quarterbacks in football. He's the one who deserves to start if he's ready to go. Not a guy who went on a run. Right? We've seen guys go on Super Bowl runs. Joe Flacco. Okay, never really had big years. But he went on a big time run. All right, Dilfer. Not really a run because it's defense, but you've seen guys that aren't star caliber quarterbacks win the big game.
Foles,
it doesn't mean they deserve to start the next year.
Here, I'll break it down real simple. Foles is a system quarterback. He's an RPO quarterback who can't run. But the threat of him handing the ball off and maybe every now and then keeping it himself keeps defensive ends honest, and then he can get the ball out. But let's call a spade a spade. You look at Nick Foles' career. He hasn't done a goddamn thing, or he hadn't done a goddamn thing in his career after Chip Kelly until that 3-game stretch at the end of last year.
When they put RPOs back in.
Yeah.
It's real simple. And listen, he can come out and be fine. Yeah. I'm not going to be nervous when Nick's starting, but let's be real on who the franchise guy is. That's all. I don't want to get too deep into that. David Brandt, any worries, he won't come back as good as he was. Andrew Luck syndrome. There's always that concern. Dave, there really always is. Nobody can sit on this couch and tell you, absolutely not. Nobody can. No. There's always that concern. But I think he's such a worker, and he's still young. I think he's going to be okay.
My thing with that is it's just not apples. It's not an apples to apples comparison because Luck had the shoulder injury, and with him it was all about the throwing motion and having strength in the release and stuff like that. I think with 11, if the wheels are there, everything else is going to be fine.
Well. Yeah, and there's also the mental block of just knowing what happened. So I think 33-7. I don't think he's. I don't know if he's going to do that again.
Carson?
Maybe.
You're talking this year.
Next year.
This coming year.
Next year.
So I'm.
Next year he might throw 45.
2019, maybe he'll throw 40. But this year,
45.
For this year. He'll probably throw a little more picks, maybe a little less touchdowns. He's still going to be good.
This year, you just want him to be healthy.
Yes. I don't think he's going to be MV. Well, I don't know. I don't want to bet against him, but still.
Yeah, you're allowed to say that. If you don't think he's going to have an MVP year because he's coming off the injury, that's fine.
And I think he'll be good.
Nobody's going to crucify you for that. I think
it's going to make him better. Can I tell you why? I think it's going to make him better. But
give me 1 sec. I expect a bit of a drop-off because, like everybody says, it takes one full year to come back from the injury. But to Tom's point, there are certain things about that could make him better, because maybe with him, there's less scrambling, there's less inclination to take off running, there's less diving. Yeah. He says it's not going to change his game, and maybe, consciously it doesn't, but subconsciously maybe he just hangs in the pocket a little longer and makes the throws instead of taking off.
No, and you're right. And that's where I was going. I think it makes him better that he can become even a better pocket guy. Make sense? I still need him. I still need him to be able to move around the pocket and extend plays, but he can become even a better pocket quarterback, which I thought he progressed into something really special in the pocket last year. But what I'm saying is he can get better than that.
Yes.
And now when you're forced to stay in a little bit more and be a little bit more controlled, maybe is the right wording, for at least a year, I think it can make him better. You've seen it with Donovan. Now, it was a big jump because Donovan couldn't throw from the pocket at all, and then started becoming able to after the foot thing. Remember? Right. After he broke his foot. So everything changed there. Now, he's a better pocket passer than Donovan is. It's not even a question. But it made Donovan become a better one, or better than he was, right?
Agreed.
So many people chiming in. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Talk.
You're talking about how it takes a full year to recover. I think maybe he'll have a slow start to the year, but once November, December, January, he's going to – then I can see him taking off and playing at an MVP level again.
Well, and if they stay above water until he gets hot, then I'm fine with it.
Listen, it's a comfortability thing. Yeah. Okay, once he's comfortable landing on that and playing in a game on that, and he gets through a play or two and a quarter, and every second he gets through is going to make him more comfortable and better and back to who he was. Every game, every quarter, every minute, and when after he takes his first hit and gets back up, little things like that are only going to bring the confidence back, and that's what it really is with it, especially when it's your land leg, when it's your left one and your righty, because that's where everybody's falling around that. Mm-hmm. Listen, at 10-15, right around there of Ron Clements, home run on wheels. He'll be calling in, travel to all 30 MLB stadiums. Great cause. We'll have Ron on, talk a little Phils, baseball, and obviously what's his favorite park. I already know what it is, but he still had about 7 more to go after I met him, so it could have changed.
All right.
It could have changed. Little teaser, babe. Little teaser. Mike James, which is Mike Cow. I can't call you Mike James anymore. Reese just got hit on the hand. Hope he's okay. Mike Parker says 50% when you talk about Carson. All right, Park, man. Michael DeAndrea, a little higher, 75%. Keith Holden, a little bit higher, 100% definitely. Let's go, baby. Let's fucking go. Michael DeAndrea, even if he doesn't play the first couple games, we will be fine. And I agree with you because we're loaded. We're loaded. The Super Bowl champs got better, FYI. My comment, we don't need to read that. I said, hey, we're going to read off everybody's comment. Greg Moakvik. I don't know who that guy is anymore. He goes,
who am you?
With how coy Doug was, it's 1,000. I think he has 1,000,000%. He's ready to go, and it can't come soon enough. And I think he said, I can't read the rest of them because of Facebook, which I love. James Wilder, all hail King Ralph. He ain't the king of shit. Michael DeAndrea, Pederson is a sneaky fuck. Yeah, Pederson, Howie probably called the feds on Kendricks earlier. James Wilder says 80% Wentz starts. All right, that's a good number. Went a little in between. Yeah. A little in betweener. Come on, Jose. Rob Pobia, 0%.
Cockroach.
You bastard. James Wilder said they have 10 extra days of wrestling. We talked about it until game 2. That's the reason why you maybe contemplate it. Shaquan Gitters, I see number 9 starting. All right, Shaquan.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
Fair.
And Kyle says exactly keep him out to week 2 or 3. And I think that's what Kyle's whole thing is. James Wilder, Rob sounds like a scared Cowboys fan. LOL. Well,
Well, with Frederick out indefinitely,
I would be scared too.
I'd be scared too.
Shaquan goes, want to know who's going to be the number 1 wide receiver? Well, that's going to be a combo of Mike Wallace and Nelson Aguilar until
Jose.
Hey, Jose, Crown Matt Clintack again. Matty Clintack at it again.
Joey Bats.
That's a big hit, though. That's a big hit.
Would you like to retract the statement you made before we went on the air?
What, did I feel like they made million?
Made one too many moves.
Not with Jose. I just feel like they hadn't stopped. Like, this was a first-place baseball team, and they almost brought in, like, a ton of dudes. And does that mess with your clubhouse?
Yeah,
that's all my question was. They brought in a ton of vets to try to help the kids out, but they're bringing in too much.
It's funny because I have that same argument with
because they've gone on a skid
since.
And
I have a buddy of mine who just hammers me constantly. He has the same argument as you. And I say, okay, I see your point, and I'm not going to just flat out tell you you're wrong, but I feel like the wheels were coming off this team a month ago.
Oh, that's not
and he had to make the move.
That's not my point. Like, I don't believe that it messed it up. I'm trying to look for reasons on what's going wrong, and it just was something that, we haven't been playing where we're 1-7-2 in our last 10 series. That's not good enough anywhere. That was before any moves were made. So, yes, we need an influx of talent. I just believe when you didn't get Manny, nothing was going to be even close to it.
Well, yeah.
You could bring in all these guys, and they're good vets. They're good baseball players, but it wasn't the star.
Yeah.
Okay? Asdrubal Cabrera, I like the guy. I feel like he always hammers balls against us, and now I don't see him square shit up half the time, right? The list goes, on. Wilson Ramos, great addition. Okay? Real good player.
He better be re-signed.
Okay, but he's not Manny Machado. So I just think when you didn't get, because you went up the middle in this league, when you went from Machado to Asdrubal, it was
a
like
pretty big drop.
It was like, okay. And I think Manny could have helped this team get over that funk a little bit, because now you're putting somebody who's fearful in the middle of your lineup. Right? Asdrubal, good player. I ain't scared of him. Like, pitchers aren't nervous, right? Wilson Ramos, real good, all-star guy. Nobody's nervous pitching to Wilson like they are Manny. Let's be real. Now, you could have went Manny and Wilson, and now you're fucking loaded.
Hey,
let's get back to
Robbie,
Phils.
can you do me a favor real quick if you get a second?
Sure.
Can you look up Manny's stats since he got traded to the Dodgers?
They're not good.
Exactly.
No, they're not. But
the fear of his bat in the lineup.
That's also switching West Coast time, though, too, babe. That takes a minute to transition. I'll make
Shut up.
excuses. Shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
I love that meme, by the way, the end movie. Kyle Muir says, it's definitely not a throwaway year. I want another. He said, if they perform bad, I'll boo them off the field like every other year. Nothing will change, which I love. Don't change our stripes. Mike Kelly, what up, Mike? He goes, it's not about how you start. It's about how you finish. As long as Carson is healthy in January, I'm thinking we've seen Wentz week 2 or 3. So, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So he's more about getting Carson even more ready and finishing strong. Right. Kyle says, Wentz 33 TDs and 7 picks in his second year was unfucking real. I'm ready for his return this year. Let's go, Kyle! Matt Curley, the resident family troll. Foles stinks. Documented. Frank Vespi would love to see him start, but it's going to be a slim chance that he'll start. I don't know why it's slim. I don't smell a slim. Like, I think if you want to get 25% isn't even slim to me. You want to go 0, that's slim. You want to go 10, slim. I don't think many people put 25% here. Most people were 50 or above. So that's not slim to me. That's either way. But I don't know.
Povey, what do you got, brother?
Once he got on West Coast time, like he started racing.
Shut up. Shut your mouth.
Once he was like, oh my God, there's so many hills here and fucking valleys.
What it was he went out and he saw palm trees every day and went, I get used to this.
Yeah, right.
Because I know for a few weeks
until we lay $40 million in his lap.
Asdrubal had more RBIs than Machado did, but I guess obviously he must have picked it up.
Yeah. Because at one point he was like 0 for his first 12 or something. At least I thought he was. I could have swore he was, but I could be wrong. I thought he got off to a really slow start.
He did.
Dion Brown in the house.
What's up, Dion?
What's up, fellas? Great to see the squad. For me, if Carson is cleared, and then he wrote too much, and the way Facebook is, I can't read it. Dion. Now I can. For me, if Carson is cleared, then he plays. If so, then I'm expecting to see some rust like we talked about. Missed throws and having some
3 different Facebooks plus a private chat where you can blow Ralph. You need to do it in the comments on our show. Get the hell out of here.
Ralph's becoming a fan favorite. Jeremy B1 says Phillies lost soon as we didn't get Machado. Without that superstar player, not going to work. Now, I won't say not going to work, but I feel like it was almost a letdown when you didn't get him. John Momo says AP tore his knee in December, had his surgery, and was on the field week 1. Yep.
AP is a machine, though.
And I think Carson's a little machinish, too.
Yeah.
Jeremy says, I see Wentz coming back week 4 to the end of leading to a 12-4 record.
Let me ask you guys a quick question, because actually Jeremy's point has me thinking. Their first 4 games are home, away, home, away. If for some reason he doesn't start week 1, is it a lock then that you hold him out until at least week 3 so he starts at home? Or do you just say if he's ready week 2 in Tampa, you start on the road?
Week 2 and 2, dude, that's gonna be a practice. I'm sorry, I get they have a pretty good defensive line, but other than that, I mean, plus Tampa, our fans are gonna take that. That's gonna be a home game anyway. Our fans are gonna take that place over.
Young Buck, calm the hell down.
I'm just saying.
How many times has this team gone to Tampa as a double-digit favorite and come back with an L? That's all. That's the only reason I'm putting that out there. You could say it's a practice game, but they've gotten their shit handed to them in Tampa multiple times.
Listen, Matt Bryant's kick still fucking
It
going.
still haunts me.
It haunts
It
everybody.
haunts me.
I know tons of people are going to that game down there, but it's the NFL. It's ebb and flow. It's week to week, game by game. That's how this league works. You can't, like when I always say when I go over a schedule, I don't go over. I just give you my win-loss, and I don't go game by game because I don't buy into that. I buy into how good do I think a team's going to be. Okay, I believe they're 11, 12-win team. Simple. I don't look at a schedule because the schedule's too hard to look at. Week to week, you don't know who's healthy, who's going to be, out week 6 for whoever you play. You don't know any of that stuff. You can just go by how good you think your team is. I think it's even hard to say, talk about week 2 in Tampa being an easy one or a hard one. I think it's just you don't know. Tampa might come out week 1. And Ryan Fitzpatrick might have a hot couple weeks. We know he stinks, but he might sling it for a week or two before he comes back down to who he is.
And the last time Tampa came in here, they were god awful. And Doug Martin laid 220 yards on us, and they scored 50 points.
Yeah, we have Mark Sanchez playing. Anyway, no, but what I'm saying is, I just think our fans, that's going to be like a home game.
Yeah, it will.
Oh, absolutely, it will be.
So I think it doesn't really matter. I don't know. I'm just saying. Like,
I love the enthusiasm. I do.
If we took over L.A., which is how many miles away, like Tampa, I don't know.
It's already taken over. I mean, we already have tons of people going down there. Now, their fan base is a little bit stronger, obviously, than the Rams market right now. You know what I mean? In LA, if that makes sense.
Because the Rams fans are frauds.
Yeah, you moved freaking, 1,500 miles away from Missouri, if not more, or 2,000 miles away from Missouri.
Wait a
minute.
minute.
What I mean? So
you don't know how far it is from St. Louis to L.A.?
Well,
you just did it.
I know, I just did it. That's why it was like 1,500. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe it could be like 18. I got to get exact location on that for the fan, but I will.
You GPS that.
Curly says, Wentz isn't the athlete Pederson is. It's that simple. Yeah, I'm not going to say he's AP athlete, but I think he's a strong moose of a fucking dude, and you can put him in a comparison of being a great athlete. Okay, Cowper's coming out, take Nishak out. All right, in about 5 minutes, we'll have Ron Clements on from Home Run on Wheels.
Wait, can I just address something real quick? Because there's some stuff going around the book right now. For anybody who thinks that the Philadelphia Eagles knew about this shit with Michael Kendricks and swept it under the rug because they knew they had a chance to win a Super Bowl last year, get your heads out of your asses. There is no way an NFL team knows about this stuff with a guy who, even though he was a starter, is a marginal player that wasn't figuring into their offseason plans and let him stay on the team. You don't face that kind of potential legal situation when you're running for a Super Bowl.
No, dude, so some of yous, and I love everyone, I really do, but some of yous have that fucking green Kool-Aid, and you're drinking it so aggressively and so much, right, that it blinds you from reality. Okay, it blinds you from reality. Like Howie Roseman, with all due respect, isn't a fucking DEA agent or an FBI agent. Okay, okay, he's great. He's great with numbers.
I like how you went to DEA first.
I love the DEA, but he goes, he's a numbers guy who turned himself into a football guy. Okay, He's not also a numbers guy, a football guy, a fucking lawyer. A DEA agent, an FBI agent,
a private investigator,
a PI, and then he does side work with DYFS. He ain't doing all this stuff. Okay. He's not doing it all.
That may be the first DYFS reference we've ever had on this show.
Well, I just feel like, you talk about AP, DYFS gets in my head.
That's hilarious.
You talk about AP, I start thinking DYFS.
It just gets switches, baby.
That's it. We'll get to all yous over on the YouTube side. Thicky Don, great name. 8-8 team Tommy. Grow up, Thicky. No fucking shot in hell. I'll put the whole company on it, all right? I'll put the whole goddamn company on it that this team's healthy, ain't no shots in 8-8 team. Because like Michael DeAndrew said, and he's right, our defense going to be nasty, can't wait. And he's right. Bet them dogs out there that are ready to chill.
2 shows in a row, put it up for sale. Who did you say you're going to give the whole company to Roman Quinn last week or something? I forget what the thing was.
Yeah, who did I give it to last week?
Roman Quinn, I think. You're like, oh, if he does this, whatever, I'll give him
the entire company.
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember saying I'll give a company. I just never remember what it's for.
Well, and
then somebody's going to come knocking on the door like, yeah, remember that bet you did on air?
Most people were like, I'll bet the house on it. Tom's like, I'll give him the company.
Give the whole damn company. I need the house. The comeback's Carl, okay? You don't throw rocks when you live in a glass house, okay? Because don't remember who your goddamn owner was. He's a real crumb. He's passed away, and guess what? No RIP, okay? Because he was a crumb, all right? He was a crumb. Let's not act like he didn't sweep. He was Mr. Sweepage. His rugs were so deep with shit you couldn't even walk on them anymore. I don't even know what that means, but it sounded right. Like the wall,
It sounded good coming out.
You throw so much shit under the rug. Ralphie D says Tommy knows who runs A2D. Yeah, Ralph, me. I pay all the shit for it. You can have dudes crown you. You ain't the king, babe, because you can come sit on this couch and I'll verbally destroy you, even though I love you. Michael DeAndrea, there's no team in the East who can compete with Philadelphia. It's that simple. No, not in the East, no. And the only team close in the East, I know some people aren't going to agree with that, this is the New York Giants. Okay? That's the closest team in the NFC East
if they're line
to the Philadelphia Eagles. It's not the Dallas Cowboys. And I understand it, Robbie. There's not enough weapons on the outside. I'm not confident enough in the quarterback, and I sure as hell ain't confident enough in the defense. The Giants are loaded defensively. That's no bias. They're freaking loaded defensively, and they got playmakers all over offensively. That's a challenge. That's who we're going to compete with if they're healthy too.
And no, I can see your point of view there. I mean, the only thing you can pick apart with the Giants is their offensive line. We'll hold up, we'll clear holes for Saquon Barkley. That'll be the only question because Eli, you can say what you want about him, but he is clutch. And he's been there and he's done that or whatever. A lot of things will have to go right for the Cowboys in order for them to be in that discussion.
Oh, absolutely. And they're going to need a huge effort out of their defense.
Yeah, I saw the Redskins Friday night, and I mean, Adrian Peterson actually looked real good in the first quarter, but other than that, they didn't impress me one bit.
No, and
defensively they're soft.
Defensively they're soft. They can be average at best. You know what I mean? If that's where I can put them. But to me, it's the Giants. If you look at them defensively, they're a fucking problem. I mean, they really have some big, Ogletree, huge addition in the offseason. Okay, you already have Landon Collins, who's going into one of the best safeties in football. Janoris Jenkins is a crumb to me, but he's still a high-level corner in this league. You have DNs who can still
He's a crumb, but he's a high-level crumb.
Yeah, he's a high-level crumb, but you have DNs who can go get you. They have DNs who can come get you. That matters. Now, like Rob said, their offensive line, that's the sticking point. So we're going to have Ron Clements on in a few from Home Run on Wheels. We'll let you know when he calls in, and we'll get him up. So don't think we're running from Eagles, because after that, we're going to talk more Eagles and more Eagles with a side and a couple side dishes of some Eagles.
I just have a question real quick.
The Phils are going to lose this fucking game. This is just unbelievable. You just can't anymore. You just can't. They're not getting it done in the bullpen.
And I think we got Ron.
So we'll have Ron jump on in a minute with us here. I'll get to a couple more comments. Matt Curley says, rest in peace, Al Davis. Shaquan Gitters, one game at a time. And that's how you have to look at this season. That's how you look at every season in the NFL. You cannot jump ahead. Jeremy Beowin, is that guy stoned? LOL, 8-8, stop it. Well, Thickey's a troll. And Michael DeAndrea says, still got Eli, and he's a turd. And that's fine. We'll get to all you guys on YouTube. But before we go back to Eagles, we're going to jump into a little bit of baseball conversation. And happy to have Ron Clements join us on the phone line from Home Run on Wheels. Ron, what's happening? Welcome on Tom and Mike, AM and the PM.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you. So, Ron, how many ballparks? I know you're traveling to all 30 of them. Did you finish the tour yet, or do you still have a few more to go?
We have 3 left. We're currently in Houston. We saw a game at Minute Maid Park last night. That was number 27. And we're actually going back to Minute Maid Park on Sunday. It's Dog Day on Sunday when the Astros will be playing the Angels, and so our dog Holmes will be going to his 3rd game of the year.
Oh, a little bark at the park action, huh?
Ron,
we did. The first time we had that was April 8th in Washington, D.C. It was Sunday night baseball. The Mets beat the Nationals in 12 innings. We did not stick around all 12 innings because it was like 35 degrees that night. And then June 7th, though, we had really great weather in Cincinnati, and Holmes, our marketing manager on our trip, went with us to that game against the Rockies. The Rockies won. And then, this Sunday, it's also a Sunday night baseball game. We keep getting these Sunday night baseball games. We haven't been to very many Sunday games, but I think we've only been to like one day game, and that was like Father's Day in Chicago at the White Sox Stadium.
So, Ron, did you refer to him as your marketing manager?
I did.
I love it. I love the play on words. That's great. So, Ron, tell us a little bit about what Home Run on Wheels does, and then we'll come back to your 3 remaining ballparks, and also tell us which one your favorites were.
Well, this all started out as a kind of a bucket list thing when my wife and I. Well, let me back up a little bit further. The whole idea of traveling started when my wife last May of 2017, got a job that was 100% remote. A couple months later, she stepped out of the office we had at our house in Charlotte and said, I could do this anywhere. And so that started a conversation of traveling and what we could do. And then we settled on a baseball trip. We were just like, heck, let's do it. And we'll just get rid of the house and we'll get an RV and we'll just go. And then a couple weeks later, we, after having dinner with a friend of ours who just happened to be the CEO of a foster care organization in North Carolina called Children's Hope Alliance, we ended up partnering with Children's Hope Alliance. And then our mission from that point on was to raise awareness of the needs of children in the foster system. And Children's Hope Alliance paid to put a wrap on the RV. Thomas saw it. It's got the Children's Hope Alliance logo on it, the Home Run on Wheels logo on it. And we've been traveling the country with that on there. It's kind of like a traveling billboard. And that right there creates a conversation when people ask, what is Home Run on Wheels or what is Children's Hope Alliance? We get to tell them about our mission and hopefully inspire people to get involved, whether it's through fostering or adopting or just donating their time or money to an organization. They need volunteers. Heck, kids are going back to school or already went back to school, and there are a lot of kids out there who need school supplies. So that's one way people can help. But we've also been able to get kids out to games. So the Miami Marlins, Detroit Tigers, Milwaukee Brewers, Minnesota Twins, and Colorado Rockies have all donated tickets to foster care organizations in those respective cities to get kids out to games.
No, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and Children's Hope Alliance operates in North Carolina, and though there are no Major League Baseball teams there, we did get 20 tickets from the Greensboro Grasshoppers and 60 tickets from the Durham Bulls. So that's about 250 tickets I think we've gotten from those 7 teams to get some kids out to professional baseball games.
Yeah, Ron, it's incredible what you guys are doing. And when I saw the RV, and I think you guys were there for a couple of days, and I know I walked by it a few times, and I'm like, what is that? That's so cool. It's and I remembered like exactly what you're saying. My dad actually stopped them right when they were leaving, and he's like, "What is it? What do you guys do?" And that created the conversation. Yeah. It's just funny how it works.
Yep.
And
the funny thing is too, when you meet people on the road, so like we've been to 6 national parks too, and inevitably you meet people from not just all over the country, but all over the world when you're at a national park. When you go to places like Yellowstone or the Grand Canyon, or Redwood National Park where we've been, and inevitably somebody's going to ask, where are you from? And my response is, well, there's a complicated answer to that simple question. I am from La Crosse, Wisconsin. My wife is from Peoria, Illinois. We met in St. Louis, but then we moved to Charlotte, and now we have an RV, and this is what we're doing in the RV.
That's spectacular.
Ron, how are you like in the RV life and traveling as much as you guys are? Are you enjoying it? Do you get a little tired of it? I know after 5,000 miles that I did, I was ready to get in the bed. I don't know how you guys are staying up with it and continuing to do it.
It has its challenges, but for the most part, we've been having fun. It's really cool to see the country. We've been to 34 states in 5 months, and we're in Houston, Texas right now, and Texas was our 34th state. We have a couple states left. We're going to be driving through Oklahoma and Kansas and Missouri. And it's been fun. As you know, as someone who has an RV, inevitably things will break. Those are just something you got to deal with. And that's probably the biggest challenge when you are traveling so much and going from city to city is getting those things fixed while you're traveling. We've had to delay some repairs until we get to St. Louis, which is our final stop on this trip. When we'll be there for a couple of weeks, my wife and I used to live in St. Louis. That's where we met. That's where we got married. So we have a pretty good network of people with whom we can stay if we need to while the RV is getting serviced. So, that's probably the biggest challenge is just getting things fixed. Heck, I had to wait several weeks to get just a simple oil change and the RV washed, because when you're driving thousands of miles, you kind of commit a lot of mass murder with insects who decide to crash into your windshield.
That's 100% factual.
So Ron, based on what you just told us, would the last 3 stops be Arlington, Kansas City, and St. Louis?
Correct.
Bang! Nailed it.
I've been to a few ballparks in my day myself.
Arlington is actually going to be pretty special for my wife, because she has been to Kauffman Stadium, and like I said before, we lived in St. Louis, so we've both been to Busch Stadium. But she has been to Kauffman Stadium, so on her lifetime bucket list thing, Globe Life Park will be her final Major League Baseball stadium to visit.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's really
I will have to wait until we get to Kauffman Stadium. I have never been there.
But
so as my wife likes,
you're both going to do it
wife
in the
likes to
span of a
remind-
week or so, right?
Yeah, but as my wife reminds me, though, she's going to beat me by a week.
So, Ron, I think I know the answer already, but this was about 2 weeks ago, so you still traveled to more ballparks after this. As of right now, it's still 3 to go. What would you say is your favorite ballpark?
It's PNC Park in Pittsburgh, and I know you're in Philadelphia, right?
Yeah.
So maybe some folks won't like that. We really did like Citizens Bank Park, but it's just not in our top 5. And but PNC Park is absolutely our favorite, and I'm fairly confident in saying that even with 3 left, because we've both been to Busch Stadium, that even with 3 left, PNC Park will remain our favorite when we're done.
Well, we're in Philadelphia, Ron, but you're not going to get any argument out of me. I've been to about, I think at last count it was 15 myself, and PNC is far and away the best one I've been to as well.
Yeah, it's funny, Ron. I hear people all around this area when I ask them about their favorite ballpark, the one they've been to, and they all, to a man
it's either
or
Pittsburgh,
woman
it's
say
either Pittsburgh or Camden
yeah,
Yards.
everybody's saying that PNC, or they love going to Camden Yards just because it's the essentially the original of all the new ballparks.
Right, and Camden Yards was fun. It was also cold when we were there. It was April 10th, and they played the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays won. We were actually 0-5 with the home teams when we started this trip. The first home team that won a game was actually the Phillies. That was our 6th stadium, and they beat the Pirates like on April 20th or something like that.
You guys mind coming back?
Can you come back
Can
for
you
like
guys
a month?
swing back around? Would you mind?
But the Phillies were the first home team to win, and then we saw the Yankees win. But then the Rays beat the Red Sox, and our losing streak with the home teams continued. But we are over 500 now, even though the Astros lost last night. That was our 32nd game. The home teams are 17-15.
That's so cool.
So, Ron, when you're in a city on a night where there is not a ball game, or you're just kind of like setting up shop for a couple days, have you guys done any nights in a hotel at all, or are you just 100% living out of the RV?
We have spent 2 nights in a hotel, and that was both in North Carolina, both of those nights when we, right before we left, after we had moved out of our house. And then,
hold on. Hit the pause button for a second. Moved out of your house, as in completely moved out, sold the house, like you don't own a house anymore.
Correct.
So when the trip is over, what are you doing?
Well, I'm from Wisconsin, and we're going to go up to my hometown of La Crosse and do Oktoberfest. I've never done that. I joined the Marine Corps right out of high school, and so I was not old enough to drink, or enjoy Oktoberfest. La Crosse, Wisconsin, literally has fairgrounds set aside just for Oktoberfest, and that's something I've never done in my life, even though it's my hometown. And my wife, I'm a Packers fan, but my wife is a Bears fan. She has
Jesus!
never been.
How does that work?
Yeah, we just try to avoid each other when the Packers and Bears are playing each other. But she has never been to Soldier Field, so we're going to remedy that in October. But after that, though, I think we're going to take about a month break, just kind of visiting family in Wisconsin and Illinois. But then what we want to do, though, is take Route 66 out from Chicago to Santa Monica, California, and then the 2019 spring training schedule got released today, so we want to do spring training in Arizona in March.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just traveled around a little bit. Actually, a lot of Route 66 and Route 40 and that whole experience, which is really cool. It's something really neat. And for anybody that gets a chance to do it, go do it.
So, Ron, taking the RV into Canada to go to Toronto, how did that work out for you?
It was fun. And as an NFL writer, it was kind of neat when we were in Ontario. The Hamilton Tiger Cats signed Johnny Manziel, so I was able to go up there and do something on Manziel. But we actually spent 2 nights in Montreal before we went to Toronto, and we did a tour of Olympic Stadium. And I will say this: I think Montreal is ready to get Major League Baseball back, and I think it's going to be fun when the city does.
Oh, very cool.
Go back. They're going to go.
But to answer your question about the hotels earlier, we spent 2 nights in a hotel. Again, one right before we left Charlotte. But then when we were going from Atlanta to D.C., we had to spend the night in a hotel because the RV did need some work, and we had to take everything out and stay in a hotel for one night. But other than that, the only time we've kind of got a respite from the RV was in Phoenix, where we were able to stay with some friends for a little over a week, and we're pretty grateful for that. They had a nice big house. I played a lot of PlayStation, probably more than I should have.
Nothing wrong there.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm just loving every part of this story. He's living my dream right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's living a lot of people's dreams. You know, our dream was just to drive cross country, and he's doing it all. You know, it's awesome.
And that's a funny thing. Nobody has told us we're crazy yet, so I think that's okay.
Yeah, I think you're winning as long as you're not getting that. And if somebody does tell you you're crazy, they're just jealous of you. That's what it comes down to, in my opinion. They're just jealous because they can't travel all around and go to every baseball stadium and do this, what you guys are doing. But for everybody listening out there, Ron, how can people get involved? What website would you direct them to, and they can learn more about Home Run on Wheels? Well,
homerunonwheels.com would be the first place I would like people to go. And you can there's some information on there on how you can get involved. You can text the word healing to 50155 to donate to Children's Hope Alliance. There's a button there where you can donate directly to Home Run on Wheels via a GoFundMe page. And there's also a link on there to Children's Hope Alliance's website, which is childrenshopealliance.org. But wherever you live, if you're in Philadelphia, there's a great organization in Philadelphia called Turning Points for Children, and we're hoping to do something with them to get some kids out to a Phillies game, but there was a scheduling conflict there. But Turning Points for Children does really good work. But just look up a foster care organization in your city. If you feel a void in your life, there are a lot of kids out there who need a home. There are enough children in the foster system across the country to fill the rosters of every Major League Baseball team and their farm systems. So, I mean, the need for foster parents is definitely out there. But if you're not in a position to bring a child into your home, you can volunteer at an organization. Look up what kind of events they have going on. You can donate to an organization, whether it's with money or, like I said before, items. School supplies right now are a big need. So there are multiple ways you can get involved, and I would just recommend looking up foster care organizations in your city and looking to get involved that way.
That's great, Ron. What you guys are doing is awesome, and like Mike said, you're living everybody's dream essentially, and it's for a great cause as well.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the map on homerunonwheels.com right now, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm jealous, very jealous.
Thanks.
Well, a couple people writing in throughout Facebook, YouTube, everywhere are asking if you have any room in the RV for them. So people are out there already trying to jump in with you.
We have told people along the way if they want to join us. You know, we tell them when we're leaving an RV park, but nobody's taken us up on that offer yet.
Wow, not one person. I should have jumped in when I had the chance.
If you're listening to this and you're in the Houston area, we'll be leaving Monday morning. We'll be leaving the All-Star RV Resort Monday morning, probably 10 o'clock a.m. Central Time, and heading up to Dallas. So if you want to join us, just show up. We can sleep 7.
There you go. You got room for 5. Anybody out there? Anybody out there? There was a couple big guys who said they were in, so I don't know. That might limit the amount in. So maybe just 2. Maybe they got room for 2 of you.
Just don't have a criminal record.
That's it.
Fair enough.
We can't confirm or deny some of the people out there on what their background is, but we would assume that everybody listening is good people. So I think you'll be all right. Ron, it's awesome.
Right.
It's awesome having you on. It was great meeting you out in San Diego, and I know you have 3 parks left to go out of the 30, and just love having you on. Any other time you want to come on, especially during football season, I know you're an NFL writer as well, and talk some football with us. That'd be great as well.
Yeah, Ron, it was a pleasure meeting you. Pleasure having you on. Definitely appreciate the time and great stuff. Like I said, living my dream.
Thank you very much.
I'm insanely jealous right now.
Well, he's got room for you, Mike. So I mean, you can hop in.
But he's not paying my bills, so that's a problem.
All right, we just need food. You'll be all right. You'll get through.
Can we do the show from the road on the roof of the RV or something?
Live remote.
Yeah,
Hey, we're getting ready to record our podcast episode for tomorrow morning. We got the microphones and the soundboard all set up right here.
That's so cool. And they're podcasting too. I think we forgot to mention that as well, which is awesome.
Yeah, the podcast is also called Home Run on Wheels.
So everybody out there, go find it. All right, and subscribe and enjoy just what Ron and his wife are doing out there. It's really cool. It's great.
Ron,
thank you very much, guys.
Thanks so much, man. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Ron. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
All right. Have a safe rest of your trip.
Thank you.
See you, Ron.
See you, Ron.
So that was Ron Clements, like we talked about, Home Run on Wheels, where you can find it at homerunonwheels.com. Easy. Children's Hope Alliance is the organization, and they bring attention to the needs of children and families that are in need. And there's a lot out there. You're talking about all the kids that don't have school supplies. I mean, it's just a great thing they're doing.
Speaking of children and families, can you people please calm the hell down when we have a guest on? Everybody now, you have a phone line? Why can't I call in? Because the phone line's for guests, professionals, if you will. Boss?
We might open it up to like one person show, but it's tough, as you can tell. Twitter and you talk about Twitter and Instagram. At first you weren't hearing it because it wasn't coming through the speakers, so you guys weren't getting the whole interview. So it's tough. It's tough to do the calls. It's not something easy. So when we have a guy like this that we can get on, we jump through the hoops to make it happen.
We jump through the hoops.
You know what I mean? We jumped and we're through. And Ron, Mike Parker saying great story, Ron. Everybody loving it. Ron's story, and it was a pleasure to have him on. And like I said, he's an NFL writer, so we'll get him.
We'll get him
again, and I'm interested to see what his last 3 parks, if it changes what his favorite park is. I don't think it will, though, because it's PNC. And through this whole,
he said he's been to Busch already, and out of the 3 that are left, that's probably the only one he's got a shot with.
It probably is, and to be honest with you, my contact's been falling out of my eye this entire interview, which is killing me. So if you wonder why I'm rubbing my eye and trying to fix my contact.
So what you're saying is maybe we should get ready to go to break so you can fix your contact?
No, it's not going to get fixed because I don't think I have any solution. I think when they got out of our RV, everybody packed a solution with the big dog who was traveling to Florida and then took all my goddamn solution.
No.
It's nothing but problems. James Wilder, love what Ron's doing. Stayed up late to hear him. Night, boys. Good story. Love you, Jamesy. See you, brother.
And I shared links to the Home Run on Wheels website on my personal Facebook as well as the Tom and Mike AM and the PM show page, and we'll get that up on the main page as well before the end of the night.
And on another note, Phillies are up 8-6 right now. Roman Quinn tripled, and Hoskins doubled off the wall to right field. So Phil's up in a huge game tonight. If you're just joining us and you're joining us late, our poll question was you can still jump in on and join the conversation. How likely is it that Carson Wentz is the Eagles starting quarterback in week 1? 100%, 75, 50, 25. Let us know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, A2D Radio. Obviously is where you can find us. We're going to go through NFL season predictions shortly here. NFC, AFC, who's coming out of it. We'll talk about that. And we'll do a little coolest uniforms in sports and whatever the hell you guys want us to talk about.
I'd be willing to bet Ron's seen a bunch of cool uniforms, too.
Oh, absolutely. Mike Parker talking about Romans on fire. Listen, fam, if you're over on the Facebook side, the Twitter side, Instagram, head over to the website or YouTube, and you can join us over there for the second half of the show. Like I said, tons to talk about. Prediction time, and we need the family over there. Tom,
Mike,
AM,
in the PA.
A2D Radio, live from the Real Talk Studios. The segment was brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, our certified public accountant. Make him yours. Find him on the web, GibsonMayer.com. We'll be back in a few minutes, fam.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, certified public accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, certified public accountants. 215-369-3300. Or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
Tom Arnone, Big Mikey Smalls, Tom, Mike, AM, in the PM, only on A2DRadio.com.
You're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, on a2dradio.com.
You're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, here on a2dradio.com.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Little gospel for Mr. One, Carson Wentz. Welcome back, Tom.
Mike.
AM.
In the PM.
HUD Radio. Live from the Real Talk Studios. Every Wednesday night, though, we're brought to you by our certified public accountant.
Make 'em yours.
Find them on the web, GibsonMayer.com. If you didn't know, now you know. Tom Arnone, Michael Mataraki, Dan McGuckin, Robbie Pogue on the ones and twos. The big dog, Greg Mwakovic, still traveling for work, making them bills. Dollar bills, y'all.
Gotta
Just
pay
like
that
Rodgers
rent.
and Odell. He's got Rodgers and Odell money. He's working so much. Listen, you just joined us. We had a great interview from Ron Clements from HomeRunOnWheels.com. Go check it out. Find out what they're doing. Look at their travel route that they've done. It's fucking amazing. It's so cool, and it's for the kids. You know what I mean? And I don't think that we're, we don't have a lot of these kind of guests on, but this is a great one, because what he's doing is awesome outside of the kids, and then when you factor in Children's Hope Alliance and you factor in the two and you combine it, it's an amazing thing what him and his wife are doing.
Yeah,
Please go check it out. Check out their podcast, which is Home Run on Wheels as well. And you go to HomeRunOnWheels.com and you can get their podcast, everything. They say they're setting up to do one tonight. After you're done with us, go check them out. Okay, Ron's now officially part of the A2D family.
Maybe we could get Ron to slide the podcast over here and throw it on our platform.
Well, I love it. You start small and you grow. But listen, my dad doesn't do shit right, and he got this one right for stopping Ron as they were leaving. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Dickie Thon.
I mean, my dad did a great drive home and a great drive out there because he's a pro's pro. I mean, nobody's better. I mean, this dude, a pro fucking driver, a New Jersey Transit guru, all right? And my mom, who drove school buses for a living too, she didn't drive it all the trip. That's how much of a goat he is. Go talk. And that's why I would tell people. They thought, hey, Tom, I said, listen, I'm the best driver in South Jersey history because it runs in the family. I'm like the Barry Bonds of driving without the steroids. You know what I'm saying, Danny? Like a long lineage, or whatever the word is. Lineage. Lineage. I was going to keep saying that because I don't know the proper saying for that.
I'm trying to just think if there's one that's better than Barry. Like if somebody had like a mom and dad who got it done.
Yeah, I was just
like Grant Hill or something like that.
I just assumed his mom was a stud pup. You know what I mean? Like thick thighs, like just strong. You know what I mean? That's just assumptions. I'm assuming. Listen, we get to all the fam over on the YouTube side. Again, if you're just starting with us, our poll question's simple one tonight, family. Because from here on out, expect us to talk Eagles night in, night out. And I know we were talking off air for a second. They were talking about some guys in the area, conversation about the Eagles. And everybody's 100% spot on if there's people out there saying, you can't settle for 8-8. You can't settle for 9-9. The expectation in the bar has been risen for this football team. Okay, nothing less than a playoff team. am I satisfied with this year?
Right.
Now, things don't go well in the playoffs, okay, you regroup and you go out the next year. But I don't expect anything less for the next 10 years. You understand me? I don't expect nothing less. It's a playoff team year in, year out with a chance to compete for a Super Bowl trophy. That's factual. And any hater out there, because I'm what that was, I'm not going to lie to the people. And I'm not going to lie about this fucking football team. Because this football team is loaded. They're deeper than any football team in football, and that's factual too, because we saw that last year. And with the horses back, name a team better. And you could tell me the LA Rams, and I'm going to tell you both their corners are crumbs. They're crumbs. Are they playmakers? Yeah, absolutely. But Marcus Peter won't tackle me or you, okay? He's a crumb. And Aqib Talib, we know what Aqib Talib is. And let's not act like Aqib.
Alshon Jeffrey played with him last year.
Let's not act like Aqib's in his prime anymore either, okay? This is a guy past his prime a little bit. Still a really good corner, but not the guy he was 3 years ago when he was winning Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos. Can we agree on that?
Absolutely.
Can we all agree on that? So okay, Ndamukong Suh, great signing. But what winning organization has he been a part of? When the Eagles went out and made their moves, they brought in guys, and this is credit to Chip Kelly. This will be the only credit I give Chip Kelly tonight. But Malcolm Jenkins, he brought in a Super Bowl winning guy when he talked about culture. He brought in Darren Sproles, right? And then what Howie did is continued that process, bringing in Chris Long, bringing in LeGarrette Blount. Now LeGarrette's not with them anymore, but it doesn't matter because now everybody on this roster has won one. Yep. You see how that goes? Yep. So now you know what it takes. And especially for the 5-6 guys who weren't here because of injury, they even see how much and how hard it is and what it takes because they're able to sit back and watch it. Mm-hmm. So somebody out there on the YouTube or on the site, tell us who is better than the Philadelphia Eagles. We're not being biased. Tell me who's better because nobody in the NFC is. That's crazy. Right. Niners are on their way up. I get it. Seahawks, they're not who they used to be. All right. The Packers, yeah, they're going to be in it with Rodgers, but they're not as good as us. All right? In our division, we know no team's good as us. So just circle around.
Rams are good, but they're not better.
Yeah, Rams are really good, but not better.
The only team that scares me are the Saints. And I've said that. I've been saying that for like 2 months.
That's a good call, Danny, because they are dangerous as shit, especially
Drew
if you get to
Brees
play
scares me.
If you play them there, they're even more dangerous.
Like the Rams, they're a good team. They don't scare me. Like I'm not scared of Jared Goff. I mean, he's a good quarterback, whatever. But same thing with especially Kirk Cousins. Like it's the same. Something about the Saints, they scare me.
I agree. Ty Womack says, I'll be happy with a 12-4 record. I want to know, fam, what will you be happy with record-wise?
11-5.
11-5? Danny?
Yeah, at the worst.
11-5 at the worst. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't need to be 13-3.
I'll even give them 10-6 if 10-6 wins the division.
Yeah.
And it's a strong finish.
Any worse than 10-6, I got a problem.
Can we agree it's a strong finish, 10-6, though?
Yeah.
Like it's playing good football at the right time, 10-6. It's not starting fast and then becoming 10-6.
Yeah.
I'm okay with.
Yeah.
But it's got to be a strong finish, and obviously has to be a division championship. I don't know if 10 wins you this division. I think everybody out there is going to say that it's easy and that's simple.
No, I don't either.
I don't because I see the Giants anywhere between. This is crazy, but this is how fluctuating they are. They're anywhere between 8 and 12. They really are. They won the division the year before when they were all healthy. They're anywhere from 8 to 12. They could be any part of that, right? You could see the Giants going 12-4, can't you?
It's legit. Yeah.
So, and I think that's their high. Like, that's their max. They're not a 13-3 team. But I think we're in a fight in our division, honestly, guys. That's where I think the fight starts. And I think 11 wins get you in the dance.
I could see the Redskins finishing fourth, being 8-8, 9-7. And that they'd be like the best fourth-place team in the league.
Oh, I agree. And you don't know what Dallas Cowboys. I don't think they're any good. I think they stink, but that doesn't.
Danny, I'm not trying to call you on the carpet on this at all. Is that mathematically possible?
I don't know.
I mean, can you lose? Like, could you lose all 6 division games, but then
8-8?
But then go 8-2 for the rest of your schedule?
For who? The Redskins?
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, hypothetically, could the Redskins lose all 6 of their games in the division? And then go 8-2 outside of division. Could the Cowboys do that? I mean, could any of them do that?
Well, I just think Alex Smith is too good of a quarterback to be under 500. I think he can at least get them 8 wins, and then
who? Alex?
Yeah.
Listen, they're tough, but they're anywhere. To me, the Redskins are anywhere from 6 to 10 because they could be bad and be 6.
Right, but what I'm saying,
or their max potential for the Redskins, I see is 10 wins.
Right, but what the point that I'm trying to make with you guys is that the more wins that you're giving the Giants,
absolutely,
the Redskins, the Cowboys, you're going to have to shave a couple off of the Birds because chances are they're going to drop a game or two in a division.
Oh, I got this team as 12-4, 11-5, but and I get all that. I'm saying if you want to win a division, you just want to guarantee yourself a place in the dance, you have to win 11 games because you might need to win 12 to win your division. The Giants could be 11-5, and you could be 10-4 at a point, or 10-5 with one game to go, and have to get to 11-5 for a tie. You just don't know.
No,
on that end. So,
I hear what you're saying.
So I'm saying what wins? How many wins wins you the division?
Right, but where I'm going with this is that if you got a team in the division that's 12-4 and another one that's 11-5. It's a real good chance that the other two in the division
aren't good.
Are 4-12 and 6-10.
Well, that's what I believe they are. I mean, I really believe that. I really believe Dallas could win 4 or 5 games. Just because the offensive production outside of Ezekiel Elliott, I don't know where they're getting it from. I really don't. It has nothing to do with preseason. It has to do strictly just looking at their roster and saying, shit, who's making plays here? Terrence Williams? And as almost your one? Alan Hearns? I mean, they're guys
I agree with you.
For a quarterback who struggled.
I can just see teams stacking the box all day making Dak throw, and you're really scared of Dak Prescott. So
no, and I think Danny, I'm with you that to me, and I think somebody said Frostin one says I see the Giants going 10-4, and I don't trust that line for the Giants. No, and you shouldn't trust that line, but they have playmakers everywhere outside of that line.
10-4,
10-6,
10-6.
Okay.
TTP says Reverend Arnone coming at us with the late Wednesday night service preach. Frostin one says 12-4, 11-5, and he's also scared of the Saints. I think we can all say, especially in New Orleans, that's tough. I'm scared, but I trust RD. TTP says the Giants are going to put a lot of points on the board and win some games just because some teams won't be able to keep up with the explosive offense. I agree with it, man. I hate to sit here and say it, but I know our brother in arms, Sean Spielman, who's Mr. Giants, but he's also a Philly Sixers guy, so he's still semi-family. I know he would love this conversation because they are fucking dangerous. They're dangerous, and their defense is really good. And if they're any bit what they were the year before, they're essentially a playoff team.
Rob, I love your comment.
Robbie says, where the fuck are you?
Right there.
Don't sleep on a young and upcoming Dallas D. Problem is, I may be their best pass catcher.
Rob's starting at tight end for the Cowboys.
Now starting. Todd Womack says, I too sweep the division, period. He believes it's sweep of the division. Deion Brad says, no team in the NFL has a heavy rotation on both sides of the ball like we have. No team.
He's right.
That works out in our favor, and then the league will just have to, just like last season, keeping fresh legs helps. Deion, we talked about it. I don't know if you were in the chat here or watching, but we just spoke about it. Who's better than this roster? There's nobody deeper, so who's better? And we brought up the Rams, and they're not. They're just not. They went out and got flashy, and we know what flashy does in this league. We've seen it firsthand.
Dream team.
Flashy don't win you shit.
Nope.
And like I said, when you go out and get flashy with some crumbs, now Ndamukong I think is a good dude, okay? I think Ndamukong is a worker, okay? And Peters to me, crumb, Talib, crumb-ish, and past his prime. Well, so who we scared of? Marcus Peters? Just throw a freaking slant and make him tackle somebody.
Well,
make a tackle.
Here's what's going to happen with them. Is Peters and Talib are both going to have a shit ton of interceptions, and they're also going to give up touchdown after touchdown after touchdown after touchdown.
Don't make a play here and there. And I'm not saying it doesn't upgrade what they had, and I'm not saying they're not tough and they're not the second best team in the NFC, because that's the reason I bring up their name, because they are the second best team in the NFC. But if you're breaking down roster to roster, we're deeper at corner, in my opinion, because we have guys in their prime right now, right? We're deeper than any team in football up front, and that's what losing Vinny Curry, that's what losing Bo Allen, right? Has a team lose?
Replace him with Nada and Bennett.
Nada and Bennett. Yep, Nada and Bennett
definitely
is a replacement. It's unbelievable.
Nada's just
talk about fresh legs. I mean, you win up front. Howie talked about it for years, and he was finally able to go out and get the front and draft it and do the right things to make it so deep.
I think
where you have 4 different ends that can come in and change a football game.
Play inside and outside.
That's huge.
Graham and Bennett. It's this defensive line is, and when it goes away in a few years, we're gonna miss it, because this defensive line is crazy.
I will tell you this right now. I think Haloti Nada is going to be a flat-out stud this year, because he wants to play his ass off, win another Super Bowl, and ride off into the sunset.
Yep.
I just think he's going to be ridiculous.
And that gets you through until Timmy gets back.
Yeah.
Which is huge and helpful. Now, week 1 with no Nigel, that hurts.
Yep.
Okay? But I look at the front 8, which we called it last year, going into the year, and they're a problem if they're healthy. And Derek Barnett, to me, is a guy who's going to walk into double-digit sacks this year. And the advantage he has is playing with all these veterans and all these all-pros, okay? And one guy who might be the best player at his position in Fletcher Cox. And if you're any bit of a sponge, you're going to turn yourself in to one of the best ends in football.
Well,
if you're any bit of a sponge, so your point, like, we're going to miss him when they're gone. Hopefully he's the start and the piece of what the future is on this line.
Right, and you also, when you practice against Jason Peters and Lane Johnson every day, you got to get better. You have to get better.
Yeah, if you don't, then there's a problem. Yeah. And we saw him get better as a rookie. You know what I mean? So I can only assume the sky's the limit for that kid. And then you talk about our linebackers. That's the only question mark just because of injury history outside of Nigel. But Jordan, injury history. But if he's healthy, he's an all-pro guy. And you go into your secondary, and to me, you're just loaded back there. And when you have the front 8 and go get you, plus you're deep in your secondary, it creates the same thing we saw last year. It creates a ton of turnovers, a ton of big plays, and if you get a lead, you can wrap it.
And you're making
when you get a lead with this team, there's no better team in football with a lead than the Philadelphia Eagles because they'll pin it and go get it.
And no one can run on us, so you're making other offenses one-dimensional anyway. So this defense has to – it's definitely top 3, right?
Oh, I think top 3, and I can sit here and make a legit argument how it's the best defense in football.
Better than the Jaguars?
Yep, but I love the Jags day. I love the Jags day. It's 1A, 1B to me. They're also got the franchise changer, but on the other side of the football. That's why they're D, and obviously, first-round picks, high picks, that you go draft them guys on defense, but their defense, it's 1A, 1B to me, but our front's better because it's deeper.
Yeah, to me, I'm not going to sit here and talk bad about the Jags defense because I think they're spectacular, but I think it helps that they play in a real soft division.
Yeah.
I think if they were playing real high-powered, like big-time high-powered offensive teams twice a year, they may come down a notch or two.
And you saw in the playoffs against the Steelers, where they gave up, 42 points?
Exactly. I mean, it's that you can outscore them. They're still going to make plays, but you just outscore them. That's all.
Yeah, and to me, it's the best defense in football just because if you start up front, and if you start up front, that's where you win. That's where it's at for me.
I mean, there's a real possibility that this game in London, when they go over there and they play the Jags,
it's a dogfight.
It could be, but it could be like a 9-6 game too.
It could be. A dogfight.
Both just like all defense all day.
See, I think the defense has to be as good as last year, if not better, to give Carson a break early on.
Yeah,
makes sense. To get the ball back to the offense in good situations, getting off the field on third downs. I mean, that's what great defenses do. A great defenses do 2 things: they travel well, and they get off the field on third downs.
Yep.
And they tackle if you want to add a third. And this team did all 3 of them things to a T last year. No team tackled in the open field better than us. That's factual. We used to always give up the 5-yard slant, and it'd be 3 missed tackles, and a guy goes 40 on us, right? That didn't happen last year. That stopped. You didn't see as much as that. Now, people make plays, obviously. It's the NFL. But I'm saying the missed tackles weren't there last year. And that's why this defense also, because a 5-yard pass ends up being a 5-yard pass.
Well, no, and it's really ironic that you say that. I was on a conference call today with a fairly big-time college coach because I have some side stuff coming up, and the one thing that he said was both sides of the ball, we have to win third down. We have to make third down conversions, and we have to get off the field. And if we can win third down, then we're going to win a lot of football games. And it translates at every level. Pro, major college, small college, high school. If you win third down, you can win football games.
Yeah, you're 100% right. From Pee Wee on up, it doesn't stop. It's something that works. It's a recipe for success. I know Wilson just texted me and said, we're so much better with Quinn in center field. Odubel needs to be on the bench. Well, you can put Quinn in center field and not bench Odubel.
I'd rather just put Quinn in left, put Hoskins back first, but whatever.
Yeah,
well, I'll go back to the same thing I've been saying for months. You look at what position Odubel plays in the World Baseball Classic. They play him in left field. I got no problem playing Odubel in left field or Roman Quinn in center.
No, me either. I don't care, but you can't take that bat out of your lineup.
Keep his bat in the lineup and just move him to left field.
You can't now when he's going well, you definitely can't take it out of the lineup. You know what I mean? When he wasn't going well, it didn't really matter. But the fact that he's going well, you got it. You know, you have to keep him in the lineup. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you want to play him in left, play him in left. I have no problem with Rome in center field. I love Rome. All right? Me and Mike, we sat here. I've always liked Rome. It was the injuries that held me back. But I have no problem with Rome, and he's hot, right? But Odubel's hot-ish with a 5-game hit streak and 2 homers over them 5 games. So I got to keep him in that lineup and let him stay hot. You know, and why not play him tonight when you have an off day tomorrow? Now, it worked out because Santana bailed you out. And now, obviously, now he's never going to play Hoskins at first base because Santana hit a home run, a grand slam, right? But if you really want to have your best team out there, and that doesn't mean Carlos can't play 3 or 4 days a week. You get where I'm going with this? Yeah. But I know Sweet's talking about it like, dude, you can get Quinn in every night if you really want to.
Oh, you
or
could,
6 days a week at least in different spots in the outfield and give guy blows. And on 1 or 2 nights, send Hoskins to first base and give Santana 2 nights off a week and keep him fresh. You know what I mean? There's ways to do that than the way this guy goes about it because he's a crumb.
He is a crumb.
Sweeps was chiming in earlier, and he wanted me to read something. He said, one of my clients is an Eagles, is a big Eagles bigwig, and was in the night, and I said, when's 11 playing? And there was fucking crickets. Blew right by the question. Oh, amazing how secretive the NFL is. I said, you think I'm going to tell the Falcons, pretty sure they're game planning for 11 as well? And he told me to read that on air. So I did. And that's cool because there was crickets. You know what I mean? It's the bigwig. Is 11 playing? Guy don't want to give an answer. Real hush-hush. And I said that to Mr. Redden the other day.
That to me takes it to 195%.
Mr. Redden the other day was like, I have sources that, dude, when Doug comes out and tells everybody that he's the only one who's going to know, and they're only going to know inside the locker room, nobody knows. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not bigger than everybody else where somebody's going to come tell you.
I have a source, too. It's called common sense.
Yeah, and common sense says I'm about 75% sure he's going to play.
I think we're going to know way before Wednesday, though, or Thursday when you have to announce the lineups because, I mean, the reporters watch the practices. I mean, if Wentz is getting 95% of the snaps, I mean, it's going to be pretty obvious.
But they won't do that.
Yeah.
They'll go 50-50.
Well, and the reporters don't get to once week 1 officially starts, they don't get to watch the whole practice the way they do in training camp. They have a portion that is open to the media, but they don't get to watch the whole deal.
Okay.
So they could do a full install with the ones with Carson, and as soon as it's open to the media, just start running the twos.
Yeah, it's simple. TTP says, how much slack will Wentz get if he comes back and struggles the first few games?
As much as he needs.
He should. Now, knowing the city I love and what we grew up around, I don't know. You know, this city's so sick in the fucking head sometimes that he could struggle the first couple games, and motherfuckers out there will be barking for Foles.
Oh, my God.
You don't understand what I'm saying to you? That's not me. That ain't coming from me. I'm just telling you how insane some of these son of a bitches are out there. We all know some of them, okay? But that's not going to happen. That's why it's so important for this defense to play well. Now, if he struggles in a game really bad, could Foles come in and relieve him? Yes, but it'll still be his job the next week, okay? That's his common sense, too. But so I'm not, there's none of that. There's no quarterback controversy. He gets as much slack as he needs this year.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but other guys had to pick his ass up now. It was always next man up. It's a little different. Mm-hmm. This is pick up your QB, pick up the workhorse of this franchise, okay? And make life easier on him to start the season until he gets his legs under him.
So do we want to do our divisional predictions?
Yeah, let me read off a few more family members and get to it. TTP says Eagles 11-5, Giants 10-6, Dallas 7-9, Skins 7-9. Froston says, do you see the Birds bring in Timmons or Bowman since I don't trust the linebacker core with Hicks House, for example?
We've been begging for Bowman for 3 months now.
Froston, we would love some Bowman. I'll go pick his ass the fuck up. Todd Womack, exactly time. When Timmy gets back, Cox will destroy anything in front of him. And I'll even give him more of a breather, too. TTP says, Froston, suppose we re-sign Kendricks. That would be funny as shit. That would be a Howie move. David Roski says, Rams will be better. Yeah, they're going to be better than they were last year, but they're not better than
David
us.
Roscoe's a big Rams fan.
Yeah, we know. I love Dave. Dion, on November 18th, 1 p.m., 2018 in New Orleans. Eagles win 28-24. And
I think that game might be a little more high scoring than that.
he's just saying D steps up and make plays, mark it. I love it. TDP says how much we talked about slack. Alexander Verrucci, all he needs.
That's what I said.
Yep, Todd Womack, that's when you lean on the run game. Absolutely, Todd. And you have tons of backs to be able to do that. And Dion says TTP balling. Carson Wentz appears to be dedicated to winning. I can't say that about McNabb. That's why I have a close friend that played for the Birds, running back, and he said McNabb wasn't that committed. Now, I hate to say that about guys who get to that level because there has to be some dedication to the game.
Yeah.
You know, it can't be all athletics, especially at the quarterback position. But I'll tell you this. Nobody works harder than 11. You know, when he's in the door at 4 a.m., like we talked about, the guys walk in and see that, it automatically changes everything in that locker room. Okay? Because now guys see him successful and believe in him and say, shit. You know, if he's working that hard,
right?
You know, you got to look at yourself in the mirror. How hard am I working? You know, and I think Ronald Darby talked about walking in and seeing him and Nelly. Why do you think Nelson got better? I know we talked about this ad nauseum, but Nelson got better because he bought into what Carson was doing. He said, you know what? I'm going to put my head down. I'm just going to go work my fucking tail off. And the two of them did. And week one, what's the first touchdown? Goes to Nelly, deep ball, and it just shows two guys who worked their ass off. Now, listen to me. Now, everybody sees that, right? Everybody sees that. Everybody goes watch films the next week and says, who's 13? He didn't catch a ball last year, right? And they see him catch a few and a big one. Now guys are like, shit, I got to work harder. And then it's a buy-in. And you keep winning games, and it buys in even more until the injury, which left us in a place that we were so good and believed in ourselves so much, it didn't fucking matter.
And before Nelson went down with that lower body injury in camp, they were saying he looks like the best receiver on the team. Obviously, Jeffrey's not playing, but still, I think in terms of speed, obviously, he's way quicker than Jeffrey.
He's a playmaker, so is Mike Wallace.
I had a hot take last week about Goddard. I think Nelson can have a 1,000-yard season this year.
Oh, he could easily.
He could very easily could.
He could easily because the advantage you have now with Mike Wallace too, and now another tight end to be able to add to the arsenal that's even more of a threat than Trey Burton, especially in the red zone, is you're going to get Nelson so much one-on-one. It's sick. And you're probably going to give him even more one-on-one than you did last year because Mike Wallace is better than Torrey Smith.
Right.
And he draws more attention than Torrey Smith. I mean, this is a guy who's underachieved in some places, but when he's been around real good quarterbacks, he's been successful. And that's all I look at. When you're around good ones, how do you do? When you're around bad ones, do you just get the job done?
Right.
Are you good enough? You know?
And then there's a lot of talk out there about, if Alshon's not going to be ready until week 3 at the earliest, do we go out and do we make an offer for Des Bryant? Do we try to make a trade with Miami and get Devontae Parker?
I'd rather fork my eyes out.
Oh, yeah, but here's the thing. I don't do anything.
Nope.
Because I look at it and I say, I have Nelson Aguilar. I have Zach Ertz. I have Dallas Goedert. I have Mike Wallace. If I need another wide receiver, I tell Matt Collins and Shelton Gibson, buckle up, kid. It's time to go.
Because 11's that good, Mike.
And he's that good, and the rest of them are that good that you can actually play without Alshon for 2, 3, 4 weeks, and it's not going to make an impact.
And it does. Does it hurt a little bit? Absolutely, because he's number one wide. I think he draws attention. He draws command. People got to worry about him. But 11 makes everybody better, so you can make up for him by guys that are damn good wideouts in this league and damn good weapons.
But you look at this offense last year, Alshon wasn't going, 9 for 160 and 2 touchdowns every week the way other number ones around the league are because the Eagles just distribute the ball that much. So you can work around him not being there, and you don't have to go out and get a Dez or a Devontae or whatever.
Well, Mike, why did we win a Super Bowl? Because it's different than the years with Andy where we did spread the ball around a ton, right, boys? I mean, nobody did it more than us. I mean, tons of guys had catches after games. But the difference is this team has a shit ton of talent on the outside and playmakers. So when you distribute the football, guys are making big plays. You know what I mean? It's the same offense. It's the same. Sorry, not the same offense per se, but the same thought process that goes into the offense is what you see in this version of West Coast offense. Same thing. We want to spread the ball around and make not one guy you're concerned. We want to make you have the game plan for 5 or 6. And now if I get you game plan for 5 or 6, you're going to mess up on one.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? So that's the whole goal, is to make guys game plan for too many guys. Yeah. And then what you're doing this week over the next 9 days.
Well, Danny, it's interesting. Like before you started coming on with us, like if you go back to like early last year or even the year before, I mean, we used to talk a lot about the fact that the Birds would come out of a game with, 8 guys with at least 1 catch, 4 guys with at least 4 catches. You'd have 3 guys with at least 8 carries. Like, just the distribution of the rock to the point where even though 2 years ago they weren't that good, you could see signs that something was brewing. Uh-huh. Now, did they get there way ahead of schedule? Hell yeah, they did. Yeah. But, I mean, I actually, if you put a gun to my head right now and said, week 1, week 2, week 3, what hurts more, the loss of Alshon Jeffrey or the loss of LeGarrette Blount?
Blount.
I'm saying Blount. And it's not that I don't have confidence in our running game or our running backs. I just think they're going to miss that veteran presence there, especially pass pro for the first couple weeks.
Yeah, we look back on last year, and people were all up in arms throughout the year about, this guy only got a certain amount of carries, this guy got a certain amount of carries, you need to give the ball to him more. And I remember sitting here and telling people, you want these guys fresh late in the season.
Yeah. November, December.
Yeah, and what did you get? You had a ton of fresh running backs and playmakers late in the season. Mm-hmm. And that's what separated this football team. It really did. Now, you're going to miss LeGarrette? Sure. But I think having Jay from day one makes up for it. Yeah. Okay? Because now you add Jay, you add Darren. Okay? Darren comes back, right? Now, granted, he's not a power back, but he brings something else to the table. But then you also probably will have either Smallwood or Adams. To me, it's probably going to be Smallwood just because of experience. I know people don't like that, don't want to hear that, but, Josh Adams isn't LeGarrette Blount right now, so let's just relax on that. Wendell Smallwood has shown flash or two that at least he can run the football well enough if he needed 5-6 carries.
And he knows the offense.
Yeah, and he knows the offense, so it's an easy transition.
Just wanted to say one quick thing about the backs, about like missing Jeffrey and whatever. But Doug uses his back so much in the passing game, where that's another 3 weapons that you're not
not accounting for.
Yeah.
And then also with Clement, like talking about the short yardage situation with Blount, a lot of times last year they used Clement in short yardage situations.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Deems, what did Colin Cowherd say today? He said Cowherd pissed him off today.
Oh, he was talking about he was just taking another shots at the Eagles.
Like we're going to be Seattle or something? What did he say?
Was he saying that he was it was about Malcolm Jenkins, how Malcolm Jenkins is his favorite player and how he wants the thing out of the locker room, the Super Bowl champion thing out of the locker room.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, Malcolm's my favorite player," and he thinks we're celebrating too much.
Whatever.
I mean,
he's a jabron.
It's a long season, man. So I mean, it feels like you're celebrating when you're not.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Like, yeah, okay, you celebrated probably to a good point. You asked a ton of questions about it. You did your tours with it, but there comes to a point when the season gets ramped up again, you can't go through it not thinking about football because you get fucking your life, you get knocked the fuck out. Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, you got to be ready to go. I don't buy into a Super Bowl hangover as much with this team as I will with others around football that I've seen win a Super Bowl.
I'm with you there.
I just think they're too deep, too much veteran leadership on this team to go with some young guys with great leadership and guys who didn't get it to do it last year. I just don't see it.
I'll tell you what, though. You'll know real early with this team because realistically, after that opener against the Falcons, I mean, I know we talked earlier about you don't look at it game by game, but they should roll the Bucs. They should roll the Colts. They should roll the Titans. And then week 5,
Vikings.
It's the Vikings. So if they get through week 5 at 4-1, 3-2, they'll be fine.
Yeah, I agree.
If they hit week 5 or they come out of week 5 and they're 2-3, 1-4, forget about it.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
It's going to be an uphill battle.
Yeah, and TDP said he keeps making dumbass claims that the Eagles are basically on a self-destructive path of the Seahawks. Why? Because they're confident guys. I don't buy into that. That he just wants to hate. I want the national media to keep doing this.
Then he was talking about how we talk about certain dynasties for like 30 years later. He's like, oh, we're going to talk about the Patriots 30 years from now. And he was saying a few years ago we thought we were going to be talking about the Seahawks like this. And he's just saying the same thing. He's like, he doesn't think the Eagles are the next dynasty. But yet he'll just suck Carson Wentz's dick all day. He makes no sense. He's so hot and cold with the Eagles.
Can I tell you why they're not the Seattle Seahawks real quick before you finish, while we're on that point, is because 11 is better than Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is not a prototypical quarterback. He's not going to fucking win games consistently enough by himself.
And we have an offensive line.
He's just not going to. They're nothing like the Seahawks because the Seahawks gave all their money to Russell Wilson and couldn't give money to other people. Well, when we give all our money to 11, it ain't going to fucking matter because he's going to be the best quarterback in football. You know what I'm saying, Colin? You got that? There's a big difference. You got to put him in the fucking talks of Rodgers and Brady effect and Breeze. When you give him all your money, it doesn't matter what's really around because he's that goddamn good and the head coach is that goddamn good. That's what creates a winning culture. 1, 2. You got them.
And guys will come for cheap.
And listen.
Well, and I also think that there's also an element that's going to come into play here that I think by the time Carson's deal is ready to come up, he could get Rodgers' money. Absolutely. I don't think he's going to take Rodgers' money. I actually think he's going to
do a Brady.
I think he will take a hometown discount.
Absolutely.
Just to keep the team rolling the way that they do because
Trouty will be in town by that point. Like Trouty will be in town by that point, and that's his road doggy, and they'll just be hunting and fishing.
I can't wait.
Oh my God!
All right, let's do these predictions.
Oh yeah, let's do the predictions. Get the fuck out. We can do uniforms; they're not going away.
Yeah,
I know. We keep throwing it in there.
I will.
Don't you stop.
I'll just keep adding it to the bottom, and one day we'll get to it.
Guys, we're sorry in the fall that we're coming to you a little later than 9 o'clock. We'll get back there at 9 o'clock in November once baseball ends for me. You know what I mean? I got to coach until about 9, but I shoot out around 8:30, and it's just tough to sprint home and jump on. You got to get the computer. You get so much stuff. You see it, Mike. So we'll get back to the TTP says, now I love me some Ben Simmons, but that claim is completely insane because he ranked him the 5th best player in basketball.
Come on.
Colin.
8th, but yeah.
8th, whatever.
All right, so.
Joe's better than he is, so I don't know where he ranked Joe.
He had like 12.
12. Grow the fuck up, Colin.
He's so stupid. I know.
Dumb.
All right, boys. Pick a winner. AFC East.
AFC East?
AFC East.
The Patriots.
Patriots.
Same here. AFC South.
AFC South.
Got to go Jags, right?
Yeah, Jags.
I'll go Jags.
With Colts as a.
See, I would go Jags with Houston as a.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
I'm picking the Jags, but I think that offense is going to be a little one-dimensional with the running game. I think that Marquise Lee injury. I know he only had like 700 yards last year. Who do they really have now on the outside? And Bortles ain't to me like. I just think that offense is going to be a little ugly.
You want to talk about a guy who probably have a slow start? I mean, you're talking about Deshaun Watson, who injured the same knee twice.
Yeah.
You know how that's what's going to matter. Now they're always competitive because Bill O'Brien is, he just find ways to win games. Mm-hmm. They'll be in it, but I think it might hurt them if he ain't fully ready to rock with the Colts and Luck being rocket, because the Luck has that effect where he makes the Colts a playoff caliber team with just him around, right? So I'll stick with the Jags.
All right. AFC North.
North is it's not as easy as it looks.
I don't think it is either.
But I think it is the Steelers. The Ravens are a real good football team. But the Browns are going to be
here it comes.
Be good.
Here comes the Baker love.
And guess what? It's deeper than Baker because I just think they're so good. And Tyrod shows you that he can take a good defense and a small ball type team to 10 wins like he did with the Bills.
That's fair.
I hate Tyrod Taylor. It should be Baker's job from day one. But that's why I think that they're a dark horse to win that division or at least make the playoffs. But it's the Steelers division as long as the health holds up out there.
I hear you because I'm a big Josh Gordon guy, so I hope I love Josh Gordon. He's like one of the most he's not talked about because he doesn't play, but I think when he's on the field, he's the only receiver in NFL history to have back-to-back 200-yard receiving games, whatever. But I think it is the Steelers. I think they're a Super Bowl contender. I think they can beat the Patriots in the playoffs, but I'm not out on the Browns either. I can see the Browns getting 9 wins, 10 wins.
I also have Steelers, and I like the Ravens a lot this year.
Really?
Oh, a lot of people do.
I do. I'm not a huge Flacco guy, but I like the Ravens a lot.
They're loaded defensively. West?
AFC West. Danny, what do you got?
Chargers.
I
love the Chargers.
bookends and go get you. I love the Chargers.
I'm putting my trust in the quarterback whisperer. I'm going Big Red.
You're going Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs?
I am, yes.
Now, what do you guys feel about the Raiders? Or did they get back to a playoff team like they were, or are they sort of in the middle?
I kind of feel like this is the year that Grudog kind of cleans house. And you know, maybe they're 9-7, 8-8, 7-9. But I think he gets his system back in there. He gets his guys in the spots that he wants them, and then next year is the year that they kind of pick up steam.
Fair.
And you know, Chargers, I don't think you could ever count them out. You know, Phillip Rivers finds ways to win games. Defense is good, and the Broncos. I mean, like I mentioned, I saw the Redskins Friday night. You know, playing the Broncos with Case Keenum. They're obviously not. You know, they don't have a star quarterback, but he's got weapons to throw to, and their running game is going to be much better than it was last year. I tell you right now, you may have heard it here first. They got a kid in their backfield, Royce Freeman, who
Royce, I like Royce.
Is going to be ridiculous.
Oregon Duck.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm going Chiefs, but I mean this division could very easily come down.
It always is.
Yeah, it could come down to Denver, Kansas City, and Chargers right down to the last week.
It very well could.
And the Raiders could just hang in there.
Listen, it's true. West, we'll go West.
We'll go back across the country, NFC West.
I'm going to go Rams.
Yeah, Rams.
I'm going Rams, but not without a fight from Jimmy G and the boys in San Francisco.
Yes.
They're going to be better.
I love Jimmy.
They're going to be good.
Jimmy the Gunslinger.
South.
Tough.
I'm going Saints.
Yeah,
Danny?
Saints.
I think the Saints are a wild card team easily. I'm going Falcons.
Could easily be a 3-playoff
Yeah.
division again. 3-playoff team division.
It very, very well could.
Listen, it's another one. It's another one you can flip a fucking coin. North?
Rodgers, fuck Kirk Cousins. I can't.
Wow, that was blunt.
I can't. I can't stand the.
No, I think if it's fine. I think if Rodgers is healthy for a full season, they just run away with that division.
Yeah, I'm going A-Rod. I'm going Pack to win it, that division. So the East, boys.
It's the Birds.
Birds, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, simple one.
So, Danny, give me a Super Bowl. I'll give you mine right now.
I want.
I'm gonna let you go first.
I want a Pennsylvania Super Bowl.
Well, there
so
you go.
bad.
That's this is why I'm tossing it to you, because then I don't have to give an answer because you already have given it.
I want it so bad.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles, Patriots. And
Rematch,
and we beat him again, and Brady retires.
Oh shit!
Done.
Grand freaking poobah.
Could you imagine that we made Brady retire?
Yep, I think we are. And
Oh
you
my
fucking heard it
God.
here on the couch again first. You always hear shit on this couch first.
see,
It might not always be from the dad, the big dog here, but you always hear it from somebody.
See, it's funny because I'm going Eagles Steelers, and I think Ben retires.
That's fine. Ben retires after the AFC title game when he loses to the Patriots.
All right, either way.
We'll go that route. So you still get your Ben retirement after Tommy takes him out again. That's all. If TB12's healthy and they're going to the Super Bowl. I mean, that's as almost factual to me. It's crazy. Like, if he's good to go and he's Brady.
But here, I have a question for you, though. If Gronk doesn't stay healthy, who the hell is he throwing the ball to?
Doesn't fucking matter.
Chris Hogan?
He's done it before. He's throwing to me to you when he gets it done. You know what I mean? You got the Dolphins down there that had Landry and Parker, and Brady had nobody, and he still wins the division.
Is Belichick going to trade Dallas for Povia? Pov will be lining up at tight end opposite Gronk.
I'm available.
The trade of the year.
You're the
Blockbuster.
You're the best pass catcher in Dallas. You might be the second best in New England.
Hands for days. I said it before. I'll say it again.
There you go.
Listen, fam, we're signing off until next week. All right, I know a ton of you chiming in. TTP, Deems,
all y'all. We love you.
Frostin'. Love all you fucking guys. You're the best. You know, tons of Eagles. Obviously, from this point on, if you ain't subscribed, make sure you do it, okay? Because we're going to be coming to you. Not only Wednesday night, we have 2 shows tomorrow night, Lazy Booking, All Wrestling, Hockey Happy Hour. Saturday of the Hooligans with Mr. Nitro Freak. Sunday, Agree, Disagree. Myself, Willie, Sweeps. You know the routine. Pove Man's here as well, okay? And then what we got? Monday, Sports Hounds. talking obviously Eagles, National. Tuesday, Birds of a Feather. All
and
Eagles.
Next Wednesday, Eagles pregame right here.
And you'll have the fix on before us. Obviously, Talking Birds, taking you in to the main fucking event. You're welcome, the big dogs, and we'll sign you off. Kyle says, that time you're wrong. Houston is going into the Super Bowl. Listen, they could, but I don't trust the injury twice. That's it. I don't trust the injury twice.
And I don't think you have to say any more than that.
You know, I just don't trust it, Kyle. I don't trust it twice. I think he needs at least a year on it, and then the following year, if you want to have that conversation, I'm all in. Tom,
Mike,
AM
in the PM.
A2D Radio. Listen, next week Danny will be here, Greg will be here,
We hope.
Poe will be here, and it's going to be heavy Eagles. Obviously, Greg will be disappointed in Doug for something prior to the game. We know that. Tom,
Mike,
AM
in the PM.
A2D Radio. Thank you, Gibson Mayer, LLC, our certified public accountant. Make him yours. Find him on the web, GibsonMayer.com. Tom Renaud, Michael Mataraki, Dan McGuckin, Robbie Poe on the ones and twos, and all our fucking dudes out there. We love you.
Thanks, Ron.
And Ron Clements, the best wheels in the business. HomeRunOnWheels.com. Fly, Eagles, fly. Back to back, bitches. We out. Deem says the fix without that disgraced Brodo. I'll laugh my ass off. He's cruising on a fucking yacht around Europe. It's amazing. I'm jealous as fuck. We out. TTP says, who goes on vacation the day before the season starts? I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know. We'll have to stop over, talk to the family, sit him down. We'll have a conversation. Later, brother.
Well, hello again, everyone. This is Bob Mannery, and you're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, only on A2D Radio. Tom and Mike, these guys are fucking awesome. But their side piece, Greg, that guy is a goddamn problem.